morning, good afternoon, good evening, or good night, depending on what time zone you're in or what time you're watching this video. I know what you're thinking. 2 videos in under a week? Now I must be sick. You'd be right. But that aside, I still felt like it'd be an awesome time to let's just drop a second video because Ed Sheeran's album also came out this week. And if you don't know, Ed Sheeran rivals my love for Ren, quite honestly. I think they're both amazing musicians, they're both amazing artists, and they put their entire soul into all of the music that they make, and it's honestly so amazing to watch. But without further ado, we're checking out a song called Curtains by Ed Sheeran. So let's jump right into it. Hope you're all having an awesome day. I love what he's been doing here. So for a lot of his songs, or a lot of the new songs he's putting out what track number they are, the subtract sign, because that's the name of the album, and then the name, which is so cool. I love that.
Can you pull it?
Were we drowning? Is that what that was? I think we were drowning. And it's kind of like he's already submerged in water, which, okay, let's see where that goes.
Can you pull the curtains? Let me see the sunshine. I think I'm done with my hiding place, and you found me anyway. It's been forever, but I'm feeling alright. Tears dry and we'll leave no trace, and tomorrow's another day.
Oh man, I love this so far, but it starts off with this notion of can you pull the curtains, because I've been hiding already for too long, and that's kind of what it feels like when you've kind of been, and I'm assuming this is kind of like hiding away from the world, maybe hiding away from your own emotions, but after long enough you feel like you've kind of been away for, so you've found some sense of solace, some sense of peace. You can finally free yourself from being kind of clustered off by your own self, and now it's like, can you pull the curtains back? So let me see that sunshine, because I want that sunshine to stream in. I like how we also, like, if we're looking at the way the video is shot, he's walking kind of alone in this misty forest, which gives it kind of this ominous view. But then on top of that, it's like the colors are very bleak, very not necessarily grim, but darker. And that's kind of because, like we were just saying, there's no sunlight here, right? Wherever we are, mind space, or whether it's like actually location wise, there's no color here because there's not enough sunlight being let in because we're choosing not to let it in. But what's cool is it sounds like they're actually asking someone, so it's almost like we're reaching out for help now. Actually, let me pull up the lyrics before I continue this. There, I got them beside me now. And something else just to mention is that tears dry, we don't leave no trace. It's almost like we've hid for long enough that no one would be able to tell that we're hurt, but probably the person that we're talking to here, they're someone who's very familiar with us, and so they would have recognized the pain. So we don't mind actually telling them this part of ourselves. Our tears are dry, we'll leave no trace. That's super cool. I also like how the music, if we kind of go back and listen to it again, I'll kind of go right back to the start, but it's got almost like a lullaby-ish sound to it, and it sounded like the track was starting to change a little bit as we kind of moved to that chaotic section. But let's just listen to the track for a second.
Can you pull the curtains? Let me see the sunshine.
Just
I think I'm
piano.
done with my hiding place, and you found me
I
anyway.
love that.
It's been forever, but I'm feeling alright.
Ooh, we get a guitar come in there too.
Tears dry and we'll leave no trace, and tomorrow's another day. Hide and seek.
Ooh.
I am somewhere closed away. You won't believe how long it's been since I started the game. I can't be seen, and you won't find me today. I've not been this low, but I'll be okay. Are you?
Whoa, that switch up was awesome. Oh my god. Honestly, this feels like classic Ed. And I like all the stuff that Ed is capable of because it's just he's got so many talents. But this feels like old school Ed, just the way it's written, just the way it's layered, just many kind of facets to it. But damn, this was a very interesting song. The way that we saw the scene switch up too, it's almost even darker now, and it's almost like we've returned kind of to that dark space in our mind, and it's chaotic, it's frenzied, there's so many people in it, and maybe these people represent thoughts, different things we're thinking about all the time. And if not beyond that, it's the other people in the back. I don't know how much they seem to be enjoying themselves. I'll have to take a look at that, but it's almost like you're kind of in this crowd, and in that crowd, you're still feeling like you just want to hide away, right? And it starts off with hide and seek. I'm somewhere close, but you won't leave. Is that what it says? I'll have to go back to listen to that. But ultimately, it's like you've been hiding for so long, and you've been waiting for someone to find you, but there just hasn't been someone who's been able to find you, and maybe that's this person who we're talking to is someone who's spent the time, or we feel close enough that we can actually reveal ourselves to them. And something else that it says here is how long has it been since I've been playing this game, right? Because it's like you've just been so closed off for so long that it almost feels strange not to be. And you're just now it's more than a game. It's almost like your way of life, right? And we're saying that you won't necessarily find me because I don't want you to find me. I don't want someone to be let into this closed shell of mine because it's harder to be vulnerable than it is to just imagine that I can kind of just keep myself at bay away from everyone else. Man, and all the shades of blue now that we're seeing, it's almost like you know how blue represents the color of sadness, right? And it's almost like that we're back in that mindset. But also the way the flow switched up, that had a very like Wonderwall-esque feeling to it. The drumming into the way the beat moved, I like that a lot. Let's go back and listen to that.
Hide and seek. I am somewhere closed away. You won't believe how long it's been since I started the game. I can't be seen, and you won't find me today. I've not been this low, but I'll be okay.
Oh, and even the way he's walking, he's kind of avoiding these people. And also, I realize now the lyrics I'm reading are not right. It says, "You won't believe how long it's been since the start of the game." So that goes back to the idea that like I've been playing for so long. Even I forget how long I've been playing this game. But I love the chaos in the background, and this really does have like a Wonderwall ish feeling to it. Sorry, I just realized the music was a little bit quieter. Apologies. Put it back up. But it's got a real like Wonderwall Oasis feel to it, and I really like that. And just the way the drums came in and the guitar, that was so good. I loved it. Okay, let's go back.
I've not been this low, but I'll be okay. Are you alright? Maybe don't ask, cause you know I never like to talk about that. Keep it inside, yeah, you say I always hold back, and I always wear long sleeves. Is it in your childhood?
Oh, and see, that's what we're just saying is like, no matter what happens, no matter how many times you ask, usually I'll just try to kind of push it away. So I'm not going to necessarily be honest, no matter how many times you do ask. And that's just because that's the way that we've kind of gone to know in life. And you can see there's so many people trying to like pull him into this chaos, almost like they it looks like the people in the back are having a bit of fun because they're smiling, they're having kind of a good time. But he doesn't want anything to do with it because he wants to stay closed off. He doesn't want anyone too close to him, and not even beyond too close to him, like physically, but metaphorically too close to his heart. And that's what he's saying. And oh man, so good. Just the lyricism too.
Always wear long sleeves. Is it in your childhood? Something happening in your past. With the sadness here, I promise that it won't last. And if I could, I would try to take it all back. There's still more underneath. And there's
And if I could, I would try to take it all back, but there's still more underneath. And a couple of things here. We're looking at all the possible almost causes of trauma, but he says, is it something from your childhood? Yeah, maybe. Right. And that's what happens to a lot of us, right? There's something that we experience in our childhood, and it makes us it sticks with us even though we don't think about it necessarily explicitly. There's that subconscious level of it. It plays a role in your future. And it could be something that's kind of been acting on him, but and it's kind of kept him locked at bay. And that even speaks to the fact that he said, how long have I been playing this game? Well, maybe since childhood, and maybe you just didn't realize. But something else that was mentioned here is like you want to try to take it all back, but there's still more underneath, right? So even after you've kind of started dealing with things, dealing with the pains and moving past them, it still feels like there's more and more underneath. And your heart just, you have to figure out a way to keep carrying on, keep going forward through all of the mess and all the chaos. And that's tough sometimes. Straight up, that's so tough sometimes. And you can almost see it's like this is the world trying to drag him into itself. Or if we go back to the idea of thoughts, maybe it's his thoughts dragging him down, and that's why we're feeling like that. Right at the start of the video, we had that bit of that drowning motion, whereas maybe he's drowning in his thoughts, and this is like the representation of it. Now the water is actually the people. That's kind of cool. I like that.
I would try to take it all back. There's still more underneath.
Let's go back 1 second because I want to point out something. The way that he's kind of rapping here, the da 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 is so clean. Like just the flow he has is so nice. I could listen to that for hours.
Cause you know I never like to talk about that. Keep it inside, yeah, you say I always hold back, and I always wear long sleeves. Is it in your childhood, something happened in your past, with the sadness here? I promise that it won't last, and if I could, I would try to take it all back. There's still more underneath, and that's when you say to me, can you pull the curtains, let me see the sunshine? I think I'm done with my hiding place, and you found me anyway. It's been forever, but I'm feeling alright. Tears dry and we'll leave no trace, and tomorrow's another day. Let me see the sunshine, shine, shine. Let me see the sunshine, shine, shine. Let me see the sun.
Okay, I want to stop it before I get lost just in continuing into the song. But one thing that I think is so beautiful is the way that the chorus was kind of presented at the start as it's the person who is trying to pull back the curtains for themselves, trying to get some light into their soul. But now we're saying that the individual who we've connected with, that's the person saying to us, can you pull back the curtains? Because the curtains were actually acting as our shell, which was what we were talking about earlier. We were using it to close ourselves off from the world. And in this, what we're seeing here is that person saying it to us, can you pull open the curtains? Let me see that sunshine, because they think of us as their sunshine. They think of us as part of their happiness, as what casts light into the world. What a beautiful sentiment to completely flip that on its head, going from at the start where we feel like we're being suffocated and we do need to finally kind of come out of our shell, come out of our closeted self and let that light in, to this being like we are that person's light, and it's almost like this mutual benefit that we're seeing on both ends, and that's just beautiful. I love that so much. And just let me see the sunshine. Oh, that felt so nice. Like just the way like it almost like flows just gently, like you're on, like you could relax on a lake just listening to that portion there. I love that feeling. And I think that's the kind of emotion he's trying to carry forward, is that it's like this release, right? This release of tension, relief, all these positive feelings start rushing in when you start feeling like this person who's close to you cares, and that you're trying to now you are their sunshine, and that's just beautiful. Oh my god. And what was cool was, like we were saying, this the colors change, right? When now that we're experiencing this moment of brief release and relief and happiness, the color palette actually changes to this like yellow, which is actually usually is meant to be sunshine-esque, and sunshine is usually positivity, warmth, just in general good emotions. And that's why we're seeing it now, is because this person is with us, and we thought we were kind of alone for a long time, but now that they're here, things just feel a little bit easier. Oh man, I love that transition too. Like let's just go back and look at that one more time.
Say to me, can you pull the curtains, let me see the sunshine? I think I'm done with my
Oh
hiding
man.
place, and you found me anyway.
And now everyone in the back is dancing, and he's actually making more eye contact with the people around him because he feels more comfortable. He feels like he's in a better spot now. I love that so much. And it's almost like before he was looking down mostly, he was kind of being keeping to himself, trying to just avoid everybody. And now we're starting to get him kind of like looking up, looking around. Everyone's smiling, looking up with like this hopefulness. And that's that feeling that you get when you're around someone that you care about, someone that you love. It doesn't have to necessarily even be romantic love. It could be just familial love. It could be, like friendship love, like just all sorts. I love that so
Been
much.
forever, but I'm feeling alright. Tears dry and we'll leave no trace, and tomorrow's another day. Let me see the sunshine, shine, shine. Let me see the sunshine.
Where does that flip back and forth?
Shine, shine. Let me see the sun. Shine, shine, shine. Let me see the sunshine.
Oh, you can even see his mannerisms starting to change. Like I was just saying, he was kind of looking up more. Now he looks almost cautiously around. Smile is gone. It's this look of like, like almost anxiety is what we're starting to experience. And that's because we're starting to kind of fall back into one of those spots in our mind where we're not feeling as good as we usually do. And this is what's starting to happen again. We're kind of going from this peak to this fall. Oh man, that's why now we're back in the blues too. And it's kind of been jumping back and forth because it's like our darkness is fighting with our light right now, like internally, our emotions. Woo!
Hide and seek. Count to 10, close your eyes. Try to breathe. See a message and don't reply. Nice to me, but in reality, say goodbye. Life can be so beautiful if we try. Are you okay?
Oh man, and ain't that the truth? It's like there'll be times in your life where things are just not going your way. And instead of talking to anyone, instead of opening up, you'll kind of carry that kind of facade of you, of your like expression, just this fake smile, this mask that you wear. And it's not to say there's anything wrong with it, because sometimes you do just have to put that mask on and almost like live as though you're experiencing the happiness. But obviously, we need to at some point let that vent, let that kind of boil over so we can deal with it, right? But what we're seeing here is this is like he's basically saying like playing hide and go seek. It is quite literally like hiding away from the world, but it's not even just like you could be out in public still around all these people, but you have to put on this face, and so even then still you're hiding, right? And you're waiting for someone to find you. And that's the metaphor of the song, is like you're waiting for someone to kind of get inside, get past those walls and figure out how to make you feel comfortable with you, because sometimes you can't always do it on your own. And having that person that can help you is just such a beautiful, beautiful gift to have in your life. And then something that kind of comes up here is like you try to breathe, you try to kind of move through it, and then but sometimes you get like a message and you'll be like, like you don't really want to reply because you've got, even if it's like just a small message like how you doing, because even that feels like it's a complicated answer, but you don't want to complicate their life as a result, so you just say good, or you just don't reply. You just kind of let everything fall away because it's just too much, it's overwhelming to deal with. And that's kind of when you just kind of back away from life, and you're kind of hiding, right, waiting for someone to find you, which is just now this the that hide and seek just is so many layers to it, and I love that so much. And then something else he says, like he says nice to meet you, but really in reality it's goodbye, because you'll meet people and like you'll have an idea that like how to present yourself, and a lot of it is like nice to meet you, how are you doing, I hope you're doing great, oh look, like just commenting on a bunch of things, especially when it's when you're in that darker headspace. A lot of it becomes very like non-impactful small talk, and eventually later on it's not actually like you were very connected with this person. You could have been, but your mind blocked you from being connected to them, and so it's a hello, nice to meet you, goodbye, I'm not going to see you again, because you don't feel like you have the space mentally or capabilities mentally to kind of continue on with another commitment or relationship that you might be needing to make here. Oh man, so many layers of this song. I love it. Okay, this is so good. Oh man.
Be so beautiful if we try. Are you okay? Yeah, I guess so. But on some days I feel like I'm trapped in a hole. But I keep quiet so the ones around me don't know that the mountain feels so steep. And they say that I'm
Just this flow again. I don't know what it is. I really like the sound of that. Um, but this is just what we were saying, right? Like there's people around you that care about you and that love you and that love you, but you don't want to push your problems onto them. So you say, "Yeah, I'm fine. I don't care. I'm all good. Nothing's wrong with me," right? Even though there's quite possibly this mountain of trauma, of problems, of just things you need to think about and things you need to sort through, and maybe you can't even do it on your own, but you don't want to put it on someone else because you feel like you're then pushing on your problems to someone else who you don't want to feel the same weight. And so you're protecting them, and in the meantime getting yourself kind of caught in the crossfire, even though they very well would probably want to help you, right? But you just, to yourself, you don't want to be that burden. And we've talked about this before, how much of a problem our own perception of our kind of the issues that we put on other people, like it can really make you feel like you're creating a problem for them, even though they would love to be someone there who will assist you, and we just don't think from that perspective, even though if it was them experiencing that problem, we'd want them to come to us. And it kind of goes full circle because it'll happen on both ends of the party. Oh my god.
so steep. And they say that I'm here to help to carry the load. And the outside rays, they are good for the soul. So let's step out of the dark, cause in it's so cold. The day's not out of reach. And that's when you say to me, can you pull the curtains, let me see the sunshine? I think I'm done with
my god, that just that chorus, that hook, I want to say, is so good. It carries the emotion that he wants you to experience. This kind of like free, relaxed emotion. I feel like I don't even know, like like how you imagine like a flag just waving in the wind, just kind of relax, something like that. Like I was saying earlier, like lying on a lake and just listen to that portion there. I could totally feel that, and it'd be just such a great feeling. Something that was just touched on there is just before we kind of hit that bright spot. Ultimately, was this this feeling of like, yeah, you're still trying to fight in the darkness, but it feels heavy, but the day's not out of reach, right? And so think about the metaphor that you're still fighting the dark, but the day's not out of reach because the day brings sunlight, the day brings sunshine, and so you're still fighting the darkness in the hopes that the light will take over, will kind of outshine the shadows. But that's such a beautiful notion, and all of that comes back to the idea that we might not be able to do it on our own. We might need others, and that's when you say to me, "Can you pull the curtains back? Let me see that sunshine." And then we see that parting yellow glow. I love that so much. What a great visual too.
Let me see the sunshine, shine, shine. Let me see the sunshine, shine.
Oh, and now even in the dark, in the blue, we're still looking up for that sunshine. It's because we've learned how that even in the darkness, there will be that light eventually, and we're just waiting for that moment. Oh, I love that so much.
Shine, let me see the sun. Shine, shine, shine. Let me see the sun. Shine, shine, shine. Let me see the sun. Shine.
I love how at the end, like it's the kind of place he's walking in, what used to be this blue shade or a yellow shade when he's feeling really good, is now kind of like a neutral shade, right? It's not exactly neutral; it's a little more leaning to blue. But even amongst that, he's still smiling. He's still now starting to enjoy the company of these other people, and it could be like literally, like maybe he went to some sort of rave or something, right? And then at moments he didn't want to be at that place, but everyone else is having a party, whatever. Or it could be metaphorically in his mind, there's just so many thoughts running around, and this is finally like he's in the clear after all that time. Now everything's kind of spread out, everything's kind of, he's worked through it, he's walked through it. We're now able to kind of find that sense of peace, and it's now this kind of calm, neutral color. I really like that. The whole metaphor of this whole video is super cool. Honestly, I love this one. This actually feels real nice, and it makes me kind of reflect a lot on when we're feeling a little bit upset, right? Because sometimes things feel heavy, sometimes things feel blue, and sometimes you want to just pull away from the world because you don't want to put it on anyone else, but also because you feel like it's exhausting just being out in the open, pretending like you have to be so cheerful. But really, like, around the people that you care about, around the people that you love, there are not those expectations, even though we set them on ourselves, because they want us to be open with them. They wouldn't be our loved ones if they didn't want to experience every kind of emotion that we're experiencing. And often we try to put that away because we don't want to be a burden on them, or because we think that they maybe, like, overall they would feel overwhelmed by what we're experiencing, and we don't want, again, we don't want to put that on them. And yet we need them, right? We need everyone at the end of the day. We need other people. We are a very social species. I say this very often. At the end of the day, everyone has loved ones, whether they're your family, whether you're your friends, whether you're whatever it might be. But there are people that are important to us that help us get by every single day. And you should always thank those people. Always tell those people that you love them. And never be afraid of sharing yourself with those people, because if they're people that you care about and they care about you, then they're going to be with you through thick and thin. And that's what's important to remember. So always remember you're loved, and always remember to love other people, because that's the most important thing in the world. Um, I do want to kind of go back and re-listen to this just all at once. So let's go do that. So we'll do another re-reaction. And so if you're happy with the rest of the video, you don't want to watch the re-reaction, you don't have to. I hope you had an awesome time. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe if you're interested. But otherwise, let's go back and watch. And we even start off with that bubbling noise. I didn't catch on the first time.
Can you pull the curtains? Let me see the sunshine. I think I'm done with my hiding place, and you found me anyway. It's been forever, but I'm feeling alright. Tears dry and we'll leave no trace, and tomorrow's another day. Hide and seek, I am somewhere closed away. You won't believe how long it's been since I started the game. I can't be seen, and you won't find me today. I've not been this low, but I'll be okay.
Even like this part here, it sounds like it's got this almost like espionage feel to it, like you're sneaking into something where you're not like it's almost like you're sneaking into that part of your mind where you feel like you shouldn't be there. And that's kind of what's happening here is we're kind of finally delving into those dark thoughts, kind of revisiting them. Damn. I love the guitar and it's so good.
I've not been this low, but I'll be okay. Are you alright? Maybe don't ask, cause you know I never like to talk about that. Keep it inside, yeah, you say I always hold back. And I always wear long sleeves. Is it in your childhood? Something happening in your past? Look, the sadness here, I promise that it won't last. And if I could, I would try to take it all back. There's still more underneath, and that's when you say to me, can you pull the curtains? Let me see the sunshine. I think I'm done with my hiding place, and you found me anyway. It's been forever, but I'm feeling alright. Tears dry and we'll leave no trace, and tomorrow's another day. Let me see the sunshine, shine, shine. Let me see the sun shine, shine, shine. Let me see the sun shine, shine, shine. Let me see the sun shine.
You can even see like his eyes start to change up before like just look at there's like that smile he's got that smile he has right there honestly makes me feel so happy just to see it. I know he's been through a ton of stuff and it's been rough, but like just being able to kind of see him smile, and even if it's just for the camera, like sometimes that's what you need to do, just smile for the sake of doing it, and that makes you feel a little bit better. But if you watch, he slowly transitions, like there's that smiling to kind of straight face to looking around cautiously. It's really cool. Right there. Looking down more again, looking around, shifty.
Count to 10 and close your eyes. Try to breathe. See a message and don't reply. Nice to me, but in reality, say goodbye. Life can be so beautiful if we try. Are you okay? Yeah, I guess so. But on some days I feel like I'm trapped in a hole. But I keep watch so the ones around me don't know that the mountain feels so steep. And they say that I'm here to help them carry the load. And the outside rays, they are good for the soul. So let's step out of the dark, cause in it's so cold. The day's not out of reach, and that's when you say to me, can you pull the curtains? Let me see the sunshine. I think I'm done with my hiding place, and you found me anyway. It's been forever, but I'm feeling alright. Tears dry and we'll leave no trace, and tomorrow's another day. Let me see the sunshine, shine.
I love how in the back too you can hear multiple voices kind of picking up the chorus and just raising it up so it feels like this collective, unified, happy, just what a well produced track. Oh my god.
Shine, let me see the sun shine, shine, shine. Let me see the sun shine, shine,
Shout out to that girl's style too. I like it. I like that a lot. That's cool.
shine, shine. Let me see the sun shine.
Oh man, Ed Sheeran is just so awesome. Like everything that he does, it's the same way with Ren. Like they just put their heart and soul and 150% of themselves into everything that they do. And you can really see it. It comes through on passion. And like honestly, like to kind of put everything like your negative experiences, your positive experiences, just everything that's happening in life down on paper and just be like, here, look at it, take it all to everyone around the world. Like that's just in and of itself something that should be like just honored because it's amazing and extremely difficult to do. So kudos to Ed Sheeran also for producing another track where like you can really see he dug into like the negative emotions he had been experiencing and how he's been kind of pulling himself out of those. Oh man. If you liked what you saw, please make sure to like, follow, subscribe. Follow, like, comment, subscribe. We always have amazing discussions. Love having those with you guys. Always a pleasure. I hope that your week is better than your day, your month is better than your week, and your year is better than your month. Love you all, and I'll see you on the next one.